photography from Kenz of the Lens. That's KENZOFTHELENS. Kenz of the Lens. Kenz is short for Mackenzie, an abbreviation of Mackenzie, but he goes by Kenz, and he's an outstanding photographer. So the idea here is for an interesting proposition for those of you who are in need of photography, to have a photography team come out and photograph your event. So Kenz, he's really great at the in-camera and live shots and effects, and then post-production and editing afterwards. And I have my own fantastic camera that I'm one of these, I point, shoot, and deliver. So your event can have these polished photographs as well as these raw photographs that you can then touch up yourself, of course. But from these two perspectives and these two different styles, you have a photography team. So that's the proposition that I'm working on now for our clients. And it's simply making use of our inherent or our most readily available styles of shooting, the way that we work with the least friction. You can find photography from Kenz on Instagram by searching Kenz of the Lens. So, and you can just put it on Instagram as one word with no spaces, KENZOFTHELENS, at Kenz of the Lens, and you'll find some great photographs that he has up there. Spanning quite some time, he's got a great portfolio of images. So this is what we're rolling out right now. This photography team. So I am Hakeem Ali-Bocas Alexander, and Mackenzie Pond is the lead photographer. So I'm wondering how these things would pan out. See, a lot of times when people get photographers for their events, there's a certain formal way where people shoot photography, for example, for weddings or christenings and various different events of all kinds. This is somewhat of, and I say somewhat because I don't know if there are photography teams that necessarily work like this, where you have one who will have these really great planned and then polished and produced and edited setups, and with the other one being completely raw photography from all these other different angles that's just going off of mostly intuition, which would be me. So Kenz is more the trained photographer who's still, even though I feel that he's an expert at doing what he does, he is very humble and truly humble in his understanding that he's got so much to learn, but he's really passionate and excited about it. So a little side story here is my wife Flor, who passed away on October 24th of 2019. When I first met her, she had what I call a little rinky-dinky camera. I don't know where she got it from or how much it cost, but it was this little tiny thing, and I mean, she took great photographs with it. I mean, make no mistake, there were. I mean, she was just amazing. But she had it with her all the time, everywhere. She was just always taking photographs, and she was amazing. I think I might have that camera somewhere. I'm gonna have to dig it out and see what she's got on there. I know I do have some photographs that she has taken in various places. A lot of them are on the website I maintain for her, which is florcarrasco.com.
florcarrasco.com. That's FLORCARRASCO.com. Florcarrasco.com. Flor means flower. When we were living in China, they called her the Chinese name word for flower, which is hua. In English, you spell it H-U-A, hua, flower. She was my little florecita, my little flower, florecita. And so one day, just because I just so many things like this with her, I was just so connected to her and just eager to just, I don't know, I'm not sure how you'd call this, but she was always on my mind, and I continually was just always thinking of, is there something that I can do that would make her life feel simpler and with less friction and bring some joy to her? And so one day I happened to be at, it was Best Buy, and I saw they had some cameras. So I called up and I said, I'm going to come pick you up. We're going to go check out some cameras. And she says, okay. And, we had a bunch of money at that time from some businesses that we were working on. And I mean, well, I'm being generous because I love her, but mostly what I did. But I called her up and we went to Best Buy, and I don't know anything about cameras. I'm not that guy who just points and shoots because I'm obsessed with capturing images. So, I mean, I've had cameras since I was a kid. I would get those disposable ones. You can get the first I started with Polaroids, and then those like Kodak disposable cameras, and I had digital ones, and I would just take photos of everything. And then when mobile devices came out with cameras on them, of course I was doing all that. And so, but we went in and I let her pick out a camera, and it was this Nikon 610 something or other. And Kenz recently told me that those are like the I forget what the term he said, prosumer, right? So they're like that bridge between, it's a professional grade camera for the consumer. I didn't know that. I just thought that they were just amazing cameras. And so, but I spent about almost $6,000 on the body of her camera and two lenses, a telephoto lens and a portrait lens, at the recommendation of the gentleman who was in the store selling. I'm sure that he was selling them, to make as much commission or whatever credit they get there at Best Buy from. But I had no resistance to it because I had the money, so I just spent that. And then the next day, we went in and I found myself one of the Alpha series from Sony, and I got myself an Alpha AR7. I forget which one it is, and I got myself a telephoto lens and a portrait lens, and and so we had these two different cameras, and we just went out shooting. And I mean, when we lived in China, she got us booked. We were shooting weddings and various different events, and we were out everywhere. I mean, she was just a consummate. She just loved photography as much as I do, maybe more, but she was just really obsessed with it. It was one of the things she did. That, riding her bicycle, exercising, just going on adventures. She was just a very exploratory person. She just loved to find new things and events and go to museums. And so 2019, she's gone. She went to New York to visit her family. She passed away when she was there. She was supposed to come back. We were going to start a family. Her camera stayed with me. And lots of people have asked me to sell it or to give it to them, the camera. And I thought about it, but I never felt right about giving up that camera. And every once in a while I would take it out of the camera bag and air them out and sit them out and look at them and wonder what I was going to do with it. Like if I'm going to, go out and start doing gigs again, photography gigs, and have two cameras, one as a backup. Sometimes batteries run out or, something happens. And so, but it's just been sitting around, and, I set up shop in this office in Norfolk, Virginia here, and I had them sitting out, and this, Kenz, I met him at work at his place of business, and we got to talking, and we started training capoeira together. And it turns out he trained capoeira for about 1.5 years, but hadn't done it in like 10 years. But he's just really enthusiastic about it. He's got great vibes, great energy. He's a great person to move and spar with. You know, it's always fun. We're literally just playing capoeira and getting really great exercise. We both benefit enormously from it, from the camaraderie and the physical exercise we get to do it. And you know, we're not, you know, like I would just train by myself all the time anyway. I mean, hitting the heavy bag or going out to the park and just training for however long I felt like it. And it's just really great to have somebody to share that with. But then he shared his passion for photography with me, and I saw his photos, and you know, like I said, he's got the Instagram page you can look at, Kenz of the Lens. Again, that's KENZOFTHELENS. And so, and we hit it up again. We just have really great vibes, and he's open to doing more gigs, professional gigs. And I already said, yeah, you know, you're the lead photographer. I'm good at the marketing and getting the word out, and I'll be your backup. But I think that it would be a really great idea. Actually, I know it will be, and it will be a great benefit to our clients for them to have these two perspectives. You know, one they can get right away because I'll just shoot raw and just send them a bunch of photographs that they can see and they can use and they can edit themselves. Or they can send back and have Kenz edit them later if they want to. You know, it's like another upsell that they would get into. But his, you know, with his great setups and his knowledge of the cameras and everything like that, he would have more produced. Might take a little bit longer to get to them, right? But have these other finalized photographs that it just creates this amazing benefit to our clients, that they get these immediate raw photographs that they can take a look at right away, knowing that that's what it is, that these are not the ones, these are just from, you know, the backup photographer, and that's me, and that then they're going to get these really polished professional photographs from Kenz. And I know this is a really great opportunity for our clients to get some amazing photographs for their events. So I've already given you the where you can find Kenz of the Lens. It's just literally spelling it out, KENZOFTHELENS on Instagram. There are some photographs of his that I've put up on monarchcitybuzz.com, as well as I think there's some on my other news site, HAKEYM.com. And there'll be a lot more being posted. You can see his work. If you want to reach out, if you know someone as well that wants to book our photography services for an event, you can reach me at 757-763-9621. I'm Hakeem Ali-Bocas Alexander. Or you can reach out directly to Kenz through his Instagram, Kenz of the Lens on Instagram. And you'll be seeing a lot of this pop up everywhere where I'm getting the word out there for us. And so this podcast here is going to go on my Hakeem Alexander podcast and maybe be shared on HakeemAlexander.com, which is my marketing message management. This is really where I brainstorm a lot of ideas, various different things that fall under the umbrella of marketing, which include advertising, promotion, publicity, public relations, sales, and branding. And this is one of those ideas, to have this photography team where you'll have one point shoot and deliver, and another one who is going to actually be an expert professional photographer that will deliver some really polished and clean, highly edited photographs for your event. So again, I'm Hakeem Ali-Bocas Alexander. You can reach me at 757-763-9621, and you can reach Kenz at Kenz of the Lens. That's KENZOFTHELENS on Instagram, and I'll put some links maybe in the show notes to this
this podcast, but we're all over the place. MonarchCityBuzz.com, HAKEYM.com, and MyCityBuzz. There's so much going on. So, for your photography needs, reach out to the Kenz of the Lens team.